last of what I'd call the big three for our Bartitsu kickboxing kicks is the chasse, which you might say is the side kick. Because again, we're not going to be doing high spinning kicks or any fancy stuff because this is a self-defense system and that's not likely to work under a lot of pressure or on the street where you don't know what the footing is. So we keep it simple. The low kick, the point kick, side kick. Okay? The chasse, technically the connotation for chasse is to go after something. So sometimes it's used, translated as to hunt, or in this case, to chase. So chasse, it's like we're chasing, two connotations to the chasing, which I'll show you. But the chasse is that, you know, everybody's seen it. That's that classic, elegant picture of the French boxing where they're in this kind of pose, right? And in the academic system or the Charlemagne system, they had this arms way back here as they threw this kick. And of course, they're more flexible than I am, so they might have had it at chin level, right? Just like your typical side kick. But even though it has more thrust to it and more power than the other two kicks, it's still not like this blasting kind of side kick. It still has that snapping quality to it, so you can immediately bring it back and you're less vulnerable to somebody catching it or to missing and throwing your momentum off, right? So it's out and back, just like the previous kicks, out and back. So it can be with the lead leg or the rear leg, right? So this kick, one of the connotations of the idea of chase, as in chasse, is that my rear leg is chasing my lead leg. The idea that I'm stepping up. So here comes my rear leg, and then my lead leg's getting away from it. So it's like this leg is chasing this leg. Okay? That's one connotation. The other connotation for chase is it's kind of an extended kick. So it's almost like the guy's already backing up or moving away from me, and I'm going to go after him, right? I'm chasing him down, the chasse. Okay? But regardless, the basics, I slow it down, we're in our basic guard, right? And then my hands are going to come back, but not way back here, but just back to our normal guard position like this. And so this foot is stepping up behind the lead foot. I don't have to go deep. I don't want to exaggerate it. It's just a skipping motion like that, right? It's a skipping motion. A pendulum motion, Bruce Lee called it. But here's the idea. I'm here. I'm coming up. My arms are coming back. And this leg is coming up. And I pop it and bring it back. So again, it's a pop. It's not a ooh, ah. It's a pop. I'm back, right? So again, I'm here. Pop. Step up. Pow. And I'm turning my body away. It protects me even more. So if he was throwing a kick at me, or more likely an extended punch, I'm getting way back away from his punch and then kicking him as I do so. Right? Boom. Boom. And see, I go forward with the chasing motion, and I go back with the chasing motion, or the pendulum forward, pendulum back. Right? Bruce Lee, that's how Bruce Lee did his side kick. Did he learn it from old Savate films? Who knows? But it's almost the same thing. Right? The chasse. Wow. Wow. Do it on this side, same thing. Wow. 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 And my contact point is my heel, right here. I'm hitting like that. Okay? So, I faced off with this guy. Maybe it's his leg I'm after, because remember, these are low kicks, no higher than about here. So if I'm faced off here, then I'm kind of stepping forward, and I'm nailing him with that. Right? Pow! And it's right back. Pow! 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 So it's almost like I'm doing this kick, but the arc is tighter, and I'm snapping forward with my heel instead of my toe. If that makes sense. Or from this side. And see, I'm hitting, and I'm right back where I could be using my hands. I'm not hitting with this big momentum going through. That's the lead leg. Now when you're going to throw the rear leg, it gets a little more finessey, but it's not that hard if you work on it. If I'm going to throw my rear leg chasse, then I'm twisting and I'm stepping up. So how do I show it? Essentially I'm coming to this position, right? My hands are back, and then my leg is coming up and going out. And I'm not going to try to return to that position. I'm not going to go boom and then twist all the way back. This one is probably going to be boom and I'm going to step out to something else. But again, I'm here, I'm going to strike with my rear leg, so my hands are coming back, which contributes to that torquing motion. And then this leg is turning, right, like this, and then the leg comes up and there's the kick. Now it looks like it would be awkward and exposed, but it's really not. I'm just slowing it down so you can see what I'm doing. When you put it all together, it's just a nice smooth bam, right? You can see I'm turning and hitting. Boom. Wow. I do it from this side so you can see it. Boom. Right? I'm here. Again, I'm moving away from a punch. I'm getting out of the way, and there's my kick. Boom. It's not a spin kick. Notice I'm not turning my back. It's coming from the other side. It's coming from that side. Right? Boom. Okay? So now I'm faced off with this guy. Maybe he's a little further away. Maybe I'm trying to be a little trickier. So I'm here and I hit him boom like that. Or boom. Boom. All right. Here's the pivot and the kick. And I'm down. Or again, like we said before, I could have stepped out here. Where I put my foot down after the kick determines my angle and all kinds of things for my follow-up. And I can control that. Now, another version of the chasse that we'll use, sometimes it's called the chasse lateral. It's like the chasse from the side kick from the side. Anyway, because the leg action is just a little different. The idea here is I'm squared off with this guy. I'm going to step off the line where I'm kind of on a 45 degree, right? Even if this leg is forward. I have to step off on this line and I want to do my chasse. Well, I have to bring my leg into position to do that. So this is the closest we come to chambering a kick, but it's done quickly. So for instance, I'm here. Something's happening. I step out at this angle. Remember the last video we talked about I could have done a point kick, but let's say I want to do a chasse. So I'm here, I step out at this angle, this leg comes up, and I snap my chasse out. I'm here, and see I got to pull my leg up to this position so it's like a chamber, but it's quick. I could have been going that way. I step out. Bam! The leg comes up and goes out. And see that stepping motion is a weight shift. So that's adding power. Boom! So it's like a swing and swing back. Like I'm lifting the hammer to bring it down, right? It swings and swings back. Swing and swing back. Swing and swing back. That's the chasse lateral. Pow! Alright. So, like I said, now you can go back and add that chasse into various combinations with the lead punch, with the other kicks. Just play with it. For instance, right, I do my point kick. Instead of coming back, I choose to step that way. So I point kick, chasse. Alright? Let's say I step this way. Bam! So I did my point kick, my angled point kick. boom, bam. And then I put my foot down to double it, but I come back with the chasse, okay? So watch. Boom, and then I put down, and there's my chasse. Boom, pow. Boom, pow. Because remember that bouncing it off the ground gives it more power. So here's my boom, pow. Or I do my rear leg chasse, my lead leg chasse, my rear leg chasse, punch. My lead leg chasse, punch. Chasse, I step out here, bam. Chasse, pow. Chasse, pow. Boom. So you get the idea. Put them together and just watch. Kick, put your foot down. Where's your body weight going? Oh, I'm going this way. So that could have been this kick, or it could have been this kick. Right? So play with these things. Because again, that's really the 3 kicks we're going to use for a simple self-defense system. The coup d'appuie bas, boom. The coup d'appuie point, boom. And then an angle, boom. And then the chasse, lead leg, rear leg, and the chasse, lateral. Okay? And then as we go, we'll work those into different combinations, different exchanges. But you should be thinking that way. Like I said before, it's a kickboxing system. It's not boxing at one point and then suddenly adding savate kicks. It's an integrated unit. At least it should be. So be thinking from this distance, leading in with one of these kicks to get the punching distance. Or he's punching at me and I block. I parry. Maybe I move up with a kick. Or maybe he's punching at me. I step out of the way. I block this way. Kick. And then step in and punch. Play with putting these things into your combos and your counter-ups and your follow-ups. Alright? That's it for now.